over Africa, there is a revolution ongoing in the agriculture sector, and it's all about championing and exploring to the fullest potential agrotourism. That way, farmers are earning a living. People from different countries are getting to know about our culture, our customs, our tradition, of course, what we cultivate in these farms. It also enlightens them from farm to table. There's this young woman in the eastern part of Africa, precisely in Kenya, who is championing agrotourism, who is encouraging young people to explore the full potential, the full value chain in agriculture. And I couldn't have left back to Ghana without interacting with her. She was my host. I am referring to the queen of agrotourism, the voice of agriculture. She's popularly known on all social media platforms, from Twitter to Instagram to YouTube, LinkedIn. Just look for Salimo Kilimo. Did I go to cry? Let's get her to come and tell me the right name, because I always struggle to mention that. Salimo.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good, I'm good. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you so much.
You look flamboyant.
I am a grateful. All right. I brought you to the farmhouse.
Exactly. Yes. I love where we're doing our interview because it is a farmhouse. Of course, it's also a farm.
Yes.
I'm going to make sure you see bits and pieces of every corner of where we find ourselves tonight.
Yes.
Okay, so Salimo.
Yes.
For those who don't know you, let's get to know you a bit. What is your story? How did you find yourself in this space?
All right. My name is Salimo Wakilimo. So Wakilimo. So Kilimo is the Kiswahili name for agriculture.
Okay.
So Salimo Wakilimo.
Okay.
The voice of agriculture,
Right.
the queen of Agritours.
Right.
And so long ago, growing up, I grew up in a village with my parents in the agricultural sector. My mom was a farmer and my dad was an extension officer.
Okay.
I didn't like the journey around them because I think for me, I didn't see any attractiveness in it. They didn't know better. They did it for subsistence. They did it they struggled a lot to make sure they educate us. And we really love them for that.
Okay.
So that was not what I wanted to do. So me being here does not mean that I loved it.
Okay.
So on and on, during my career paths, I got to a point of doing multimedia and production. That is journalism and multimedia.
Right.
And I joined one of the biggest media company in Kenya. And I was given an opportunity to become an agricultural journalist.
Okay.
That was the only position that was there. If I was given two positions, I don't think I would have picked that.
Definitely.
But that was what was available.
Okay.
So for 2 years, I hosted a show, an agricultural show.
Okay.
On radio and on the Instagram, the social media platforms.
Okay, they stream it live.
Yes.
Okay.
And for the first 2, 3, 4, 5 to 6 months, I was doing it for money. I was like, there's a salary, so I'll go.
Yes.
But I still remember on my 7th month in it, I remember we call it holy anger. Because the more I went to visit farmers, the more I saw their agony, the more I realized how much the agricultural sector have been neglected. Yet those are the people who help us to put food on our tables.
Exactly.
Yet those are the people who support us consistently to make sure that all other sectors work, because everybody gets the strength to keep going because of
agriculture.
The farmers. Yes. So I told myself, because I have, out of 10 farmers, I only found one young. And that one young farmer was very old. It's not that young.
Okay.
It was 35 to 40.
Okay.
So they were not as young. And I told myself, what I want to do is I want to make agriculture attractive.
Okay.
But how do you make agriculture attractive? You have to make sure it is economically viable to the young people.
Yes.
So I told myself, what I'll do, I will go to farms, have discussions with farmers, see what they are doing, what they want to improve, and what they need
to improve the work,
so that then their jobs are well appreciated.
Great.
So I told myself, you know what? let me figure this out
Okay.
for the next 1 year.
Yes.
So that was 6 months. So I said,
Yeah.
the next 1.5 years, I'm going to build up capacity
Okay.
into helping young people join the agricultural sector. And I realized one thing.
Okay.
The only way to make them join the agricultural sector is to help them understand how it's done.
Okay.
So I started building up on farm tours, trying to go to the farms as an individual and tell the story from A to Z and how that product comes to life. And even my episodes changed from having an interview with the farmer to now discussing about a crop and how it gets to your table, so that then you appreciate that this crop cannot farm
Exactly.
itself.
No.
We have to have a farmer
Yes.
who goes to the farm so that this crop or this product comes to your shelves. So 1 year later, afterwards, I started feeling, I think I need to now do this publicly. I need to just ask more young people to join me in the farm. So 2 years after it, I resigned.
You resigned from the monthly paying job?
Yes.
What were you thinking?
This is what I thought. After all, when I got that job, I didn't know anything about agriculture, right? I have gained knowledge. Now I feel I need to do something extra for the young people.
Okay.
This is it. For a media, you have worked for a media house. For a media house, you can't repeat a story.
No.
But when you're out there, you can be able to go to a place, show people what is grown there, then start bringing people in. So you can do as many series of the same farm so many times. So I decided, let me resign.
Okay.
But I'm not resigning because the company, no. I resigned at the basis of I want to explore more on what it looks like to do my personal journey in the agricultural sector.
Right.
And there's a brand, and you can do series of the same farm. So I journeyed, and my dad had a company, had a thought. It was an idea, a vision in his mind.
Okay.
For all the 38 years he has worked in the agricultural sector as an extension officer and later in the county government, all he needed, all he wanted was to make agriculture attractive. But he didn't have an opportunity to do that because he had so many responsibilities, parenting and making sure we go to school and study. So I took over the brand Agriculture Made Attractive. So I went to Dad and told Dad, there's something you've been talking about, you've been telling me about. Give me permission. Let me take it from vision to becoming something.
Just like Kate did for Wambugu Apple.
Yes, firstborn girls are doing some good things.
Shout out to you people.
Yes. So I decided, let's do this. So I went ahead, did the logo, took it to Dad.
Okay.
Dad approved, and we were good to go.
Okay.
So out of Agriculture Made Attractive, which is now abbreviation, the AMA. AMA has AMA Agrotours.
Okay.
So AMA Agrotours is now a company that does everything around agricultural tourism. And that is how I started my journey. Well, the revolution of agricultural tourism is only 2 months old. I have not done it so long.
Okay.
But the fact that I had done it for 2 years, just visiting farms and just knowing how it's done, I am now partnering with farmers, number one. Those who have been able to put their farms in a position of, you guys, I have the knowledge, I'm doing right, I'm making the money, come learn from me. So we partner and they're able to come in. I'm able to bring people in to learn, number one. Number two, people out here, because this is what I tell young people, don't allow yourself to go into the agricultural sector without the knowledge and understanding of how it's done.
Yeah.
You know what you can do? Come, learn from someone who have done it. Ask all the questions, understand the mistakes they made, what they are doing, understand your environment, understand what you need to do. Trust me, you will not lose even a minute in waiting for a journey to become successful in your agricultural sector. You will make it earlier.
Okay.
You don't have to learn from your own experience because so many farmers have experienced it.
Okay.
So I'm able to partner with that. Number three is international farmers. Like you, who's now want to say, I want to tour Kenya. How can we go about it? So I I give you an itinerary, and I ask you, what do you need? And you tell me this and this is what I need, and then I'm able to pick you from the airport all the way, and I give you a whole week or however long you want to visit farmers. We go ahead and visit the farms and how it look and how all that adds into the journey of you as an international farmer. Okay. So it's a wholesome journey where I'm trying to make people understand that one, agriculture is attractive, economically viable, and most importantly, you don't only come to the magical Kenya to see the tourism sites, that is the wild animals. The agricultural sector is equally attractive and worth a tourist.
Indeed. Before we quickly come to how you're using social media to amplify the work and brand of farmers, let's talk briefly about agriculture in Kenya.
Yes.
And how the domination, is it dominated by the old folks or the young people are taking over? And what are some of the tourist destinations or attractions that if anybody is booking a flight from Ghana to come down to Kenya, will be seeing?
All right. So one, the Kenyan agricultural sector is dominated by the average farmer in Kenya is 60 years.
Oh, same as Ghana.
Yes. So we have a very big gap. And when you talk about food security, in Kenya we have Vision 2030 to achieve food security.
Okay.
We will not achieve it if that is the age.
If it continues like that.
Exactly. So we have to have more young people to join in. But one thing I am happy about is that this older generation that is doing that is in the agricultural sector is now appreciating any young farmer who's coming in and they're ready to train, they're ready to even lease you the land. Some are even giving you the land.
Okay.
You're not my relative, you're not my child, you're not related, I don't know you. You come and you're passionate about farming, I'll train you. Then I'd ask you, would you take over the land?
Okay.
Let me go and rest.
Okay.
And I am happy that is happening now. And I took you somewhere where people have 50 acres of land, 1,000 acres of land, just farming. If that, and you look at the person who is saying, I am farming, but I'm happy that they actually do not always put in the effort to farm. They allow the young people to come in and be the people to manage.
Okay.
We have agronomists, so the agronomic support is given by the young people. So I am happy. One thing I'll tell you, I'm so proud of the young people in Kenya.
Okay.
Because I have gone to Twitter, and let me tell you, when you write farming in Kenya, the number of people, and I'm sure a 60-year-old on Twitter might not be the one tweeting like that. So I'm happy about how the journey, look at Farm with Fred, able to amplify the journey of agriculture and what we need to do as the young people to join in. That is such an amazing thing. So I am happy about the young people who keep pressing on and saying, yo, we will still make it. We need to just progress. When you talk about tourist sites in Kenya, we have the farm. The farms. One, we have the coffee industry.
Okay.
We are able to, we produce the best coffee. And that means that then we are able to do especially for people who are doing the value chain. We have Karongoro tea farm, Karongoro coffee, and they are able to do a whole value chain of if you want to learn anything about coffee, Mr. Gitau can train you through that. We have Gatora greens. We have a whole value chain of green tea and purple tea. We have maize in Trans Nzoia and Uasin Gishu. We have dairy goat farming and dairy farming.
Cattle
Farming in Nandi County. We go back to where also there is so much tea and coffee also in Nandi. Then we have a lot of sugarcane. We have a lot of fodder in Nakuru. We talk about flowers in Naivasha. We talk about fishing. We talk about coconut farming, groundnuts farming, pawpaw farming, everything. And then we have one of the best in every climatic condition, apple farming. That is the Wambugo apples.
The ever popular Wambugo too, champion.
So if you talk about agriculture, we are talking about every value chain and anywhere we are able to see. We have Hass avocado. I think by the time we are done with discussing every county, they all have the best thing they produce, and we are able to say these are the best place we can visit and see what they are doing. Yes,
indeed. I'm a first eyewitness to some of these things that she's mentioned. In fact, if time would have allowed me, I'd have stayed to explore more. I remember that when I was in Uganda, they told me, look, if you want commercial farms that use technology as well, we give it to Kenya, even though we are also big when it comes to farming. And so I wasn't so surprised when I came, the things I saw. If only I had time, I'm sure I would have seen more. And then shout out to my friend, Farm with Fred. I'll definitely look for you the next time I come around. But now let's talk about technology.
Yes.
One thing that our parents missed out on was them missing the era of technology.
Yes.
And even the fact that in our day, 21st century, Gen Z, shout out to all the Gen Zs in Kenya, even though in our time when we have technology at our disposal, there are still young people who are into different sessions in the agriculture sector and are not leveraging. You found me on Twitter, and that's how come we are here today.
Yes.
So when you go out there to meet both the old and the young, how do you preach leveraging on technology to them?
One thing I have realized is that you have to just build up and tell them it is necessary.
Okay.
Show the necessity, because this is what I have told some of the farmers, and they realized that was true.
Okay.
That, you see, that that success that you're looking for, it's in the work that you're not putting in. So how about do me a favor? Start a Facebook page.
Yeah.
Start a Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, whichever. Start it.
Yeah.
Take one photo, post. Just say, Skuma Wiki available at this per bag. Don't even say so much. Post today, tomorrow, the other day. I might not be needing those monkeys today, but tomorrow you're the first person I'll call if I need it. Number two, when it comes to leveraging on technology, one thing you need to know, if you're really in business, the only way that a Kenyan or maybe someone is in business, make sure your contact is there. Don't just drop and then DM me for prizes. DM me, contact me if you need them. Drop your business number, drop the price, drop what you're selling and your location. Trust me, people, you will find people and they will
come and buy.
And they will show up.
Okay.
What you need to do is just consistency beats talent and vision.
Okay.
If you're consistent about something, when a water drops on the same position for so long, no matter what it was, it destroys that place.
Yes.
No matter the strength, it's the consistency. So just keep doing it. You do not know who's watching, and your customer is there. And the success you're looking for as a farmer, as one in the agricultural value chain, is in the work that you're avoiding.
Right.
Yes.
Great. So let me chip in this one or two and then we call it a night. It's about, you see, every time there's an opportunity, there's always those who benefit and there are those who would still be hanging somehow. And I'm talking about how farmers can organize their farm, no matter how big or small it is, how you can organize it in a way that there's a touch of tourism in there, so that when people come, they have a place to sit, they have a little water to take, they have maybe some of the corn to roast, eat before going back. How are you also championing that agenda or drawing the attention that, hey, you can have a 5 acre, you can have a 3 acre, but if you want me to bring people so you can charge 1 Kenya shillings or 2 Kenya shillings, this is how you need to set up. How are you championing that as well?
So we are sitting on one of my favorite farmhouse. This is where I come to relax when I feel, man, enough. I need to sleep, or I need to, my creative block is there and I need to just let it
rejuvenate.
Out. Yes, this is where I come. This is called Ubuntu Farmhouse.
Okay.
I tell myself, as an agricultural journalist, I take farmcations, not staycations. I go to the farm, eat fresh food, and make sure that I am breathing the air that I need to breathe, especially in the agricultural sector. Now, Elijah Oenga, who is, we call him Eli Farms. Eli Farms have been able to sit with me on a journey to help me understand what it looks like to have a farm and a farmhouse. And this is what when I go out there and I find a farmer who really want to train people, but when I go there, because this is it.
Yeah.
I cannot be wearing agriculture made
Yeah.
attractive,
Yeah.
and then I am taking you to a
To a
place,
place
and
where
you're looking
you
at
not
me and
feel
like,
comfortable.
is this attractive, Salimo? Let's be honest, you know. So this is one of the places where I have seen that happen. And this place, this grass, when I came first here, this grass was not here.
Okay.
So this is what, as a farmer, let me advise, let me say how it is said, so that any farmer out there can understand.
Yeah.
Remember, you have put in so much effort and you've built in the capacity to become knowledgeable and have wisdom for all the things you've done in your journey. So how about one day you wake up in the morning and say, this section of the farm, let me make it a section for a demo farm. And decide everything I farm back there for commercial use, let me now farm it here in section, and let me train people.
Right.
But in your mind, you're making sure that the knowledge and wisdom you've had is here.
Okay.
And now you're putting in the effort to put it in a demo farm where training can happen. So you start a step by a step. The moment I come and see a demo farm, I'll come and ask you, can you do this in my farm?
Yes.
Can you do this in my backyard?
Yes.
Can you do this? You start attracting more and more businesses. Other than training, I'm able to get more and more chances to go and do this to another farm. So that is the same thing that happens for yourself when you're able to put in the effort, do the same.
It's okay. We are in a farmhouse. Everything is here, including dogs.
So you tell yourself, let me put in the effort, because once someone, 2, 3, 1 year later, I have built capacity not only to be a farmer, but also to train other people in what I do. So I advise farmers, try and incorporate the training aspect of it in your farm, so that when you're now doing the farming, you're not doing the farming for you to harvest, you're doing the farming even for training.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So lastly, what's the future looking like for AMA and the brand Salimo?
Yes.
In the next 1 year or two, when we mention agricultural tourism in Kenya, what should be our expectations?
One, let's start with where I met you. I want Kilimo Agri Space to be one of the biggest agricultural space, for both online and on ground. I want to make sure that we take the conversation even from online to the ground,
to in person,
where we now have conversations in schools, by stakeholders and anybody in the agricultural sector. Let's have a discussion about this agricultural sector, demystify anything that is there. Let's talk about everything and anything, so that then we are able to say, I understand agriculture because I was able to hear from this. Agriculture made attractive. We are looking to now AMA. Oh, something I didn't mention. Let me mention
Please
this.
do.
AMA has a platform.
Okay.
We call it amaafrica.co.ke.
Okay.
AMA Africa is here to amplify the agricultural sector in Africa.
Okay.
I'm very specific in Africa because I want to amplify.
You have to build Africa before you go out there.
But this is where the raw materials for everybody else comes from.
Okay.
Last time we were told that Germany are the biggest exporters of
Kenya's coffee.
Yet they do not produce coffee. You get? So how about we become the biggest people that we're amplifying the journey and the conversation around agriculture? So it's a website, amaafrica.co.ke. It's a website that talks about everything around agricultural sector in Africa. Go check it out.
Okay.
And then AMA Agrotours. Guess what I want us to do?
Tell me.
You know what?
Right.
Imagine if, as a continent, we are able to say, hey, Ghanaian farmer, Salimo, let's come together and do a tour in Africa. Which countries are we starting with? Let's have Kenyans join Ghanaians in Ghana. Let's go about, because cocoa is produced in Ghana. But we really eat so much chocolate, and we have never seen that
cocoa before.
We have I have never seen. Me, I'll come and you tell me this is cocoa. I will not believe it.
Right.
Because I've never seen it.
Okay.
So that is number one. Number two, if you're able to do that, then we are able to say, now Africans, let's rush somewhere. In January, can we run to Israel?
Yeah.
Let's see what they are doing in the agricultural sector. Then we learn.
Yeah.
By the time, imagine if we did at least At least we are 54 countries in Africa.
Yeah.
Imagine if we did at least 10 countries in Africa and then 2 or 3 in different continents, and we are like, okay, now let's sit. What were we missing?
Yeah.
What haven't we done? What do we need to do as Africa to make sure that the agricultural sector, one, is attractive? Because let me tell you, agriculture is not for the poor,
No.
for the less educated,
No.
for the rich, for the young, for the old. Agriculture is for anyone and everyone who eats.
Thank you very much. If you know you enjoy your banku, fufu, like I do.
Ugali, chapati.
If you know you enjoy all of this, then it's a call for you to take action and join us in this revolution.
Yes.
This has been an insightful conversation. I spent a whole week here. I wish I'd had more time, but there are other businesses to attend to. But I'm definitely coming back. And what I'm going to tell you is that all my viewers globally who watch me, if you want to visit Kenya, all you have to do, just inbox me. I connect you to her, and she would arrange for all the farms that you can visit. Yeah. If you don't want to invest in Ghana, but you want to invest in Kenya, or you want to invest in both, maybe you can explore Ghana, come explore Kenya, and then make a decision on where you want to actually invest. But hey, today, I'm going to leave the signing out to this woman. You've got to sign out your interview.
Oh my God. Hey.
Sign out this interview, man.
All right. But it's worldwide, right?
Of course.
All right. To everyone in the world and to the continent of Africa, this is where every raw material in the agricultural sector comes from. Every food on the shelves comes from Africa. So it's our time to rise. It's our time to make agriculture attractive. Young people, food security will only be achieved if we allow ourselves to join the agricultural sector. Here we are to make sure we take you all along. Ghanaian farmer and Salimo Ghanaian farmer and AMA Agrotours is joining hands to make sure that we train you and journey with you on making sure that you understand what agriculture looks like before you go in and make all the profits you need to make.
Thank you.
My name is Salimo Wakilimo, the voice of agriculture, the queen of Agritours, and this is Ghanaian farmer.
Sign out!
Sign out!